I'd be so willing to make you.
Vincent Russo? Bags?
Catherine D'Onofrio. Catherine D'Onofrio.
He disgusts me.
It was weird. I mean, I'm on this union job. You know, carpentry, a product launch for this new kind of beeper. I even got one. Anyway, at a certain point in the show, they wanted these doves to fly out across the crowd. So I told them I could build a box that could be flipped over at the right time. You know, to let the birds loose.
I felt trapped. Here I am right out of high school, wanting to go to college like the rest of the neighborhood, when my father gets sick. Colon cancer. What was I to do? Leave him to some Haitian nurse? We're family.
I love jobs like this. I mean cake, pure cake. So I made sure that box was built, you know, good. Well, I wound up making that box so good, it was almost airtight. By the time they flipped it over, all but 2 of the doves had died.
I felt bad though, restless, like all boxed in. I felt guilty, like I was waiting for my father to die.
So the doves fall out and wham, land on top of some people from Indianapolis. You think they stopped the show? Well, I got fired, but that's how I wound up at my uncle's place. And, oh, Catherine.
Sunday I do the rugs, vacuum and shampoo. Wednesday I make sure my father gets to see the doctor. And every day, I do laundry. I got 2 little brothers, and I'll be damned if they look like slobs. What, my mother? Well, she could have as soon as Pop was diagnosed, because when he was healthy, he used to be...
Well, my uncle don't allow no smoking in the house. Good thing too, because I had to go out into the patio. Well, one day, I'm out in the patio thinking about how I'm almost 26 and I'm out of work. And then I look up and I see these little paintings online, like from a girl or a woman rather.
I know this bag staring at me the second day he was here. I know his uncle next door a long time.
You ever notice on a girl's or a woman's underwears how they got them little ribbons in the shape of a bow on the front? Shit, that's cute. The guy who did that, he is some kind of genius or something. You know, my mind started wandering, and before I knew it...
Before I knew it, he'd be out there every day staring at me as they took the laundry out. 10 o'clock came, and he'd be right there, smoking his cigarette.
Don't get the wrong idea. I ain't a freak. I never dress in girls' underwear or nothing.
Something wasn't right about him. He seemed, I don't know, retarded.
My grandfather always used to say, when a bag of Russo falls in love, he falls. I would stare at those underwear so long sometimes that the sun would hurt my eyes. At least 20 feet high they were, from the window to the telephone pole. Well, one day, you know, I'm looking down because of the sun, and I see these little acorns all over the cement. So I pick one up and I throw it, as a joke. At the window first, and then...
One day I was bringing in the laundry, and I noticed all these acorns in the clothes. My panties especially. In clean clothes. I rewashed everything. Who knows where those acorns were?
I don't know, it just seemed to fit. You know, acorns. Panties. Besides, I couldn't touch them or nothing, they were up too high. I just figured, you know, as a joke, I could touch something that would in turn touch her underwears, which would in turn touch her. Hey, if that's the closest I could come to her, I'd be happy. Just for fun, you know, I ain't a freak.
Doing that extra load that day made me so mad. So you know what I did? I took all those acorns and arranged them on his uncle's welcome mat in the shape of what I thought bags was. An axe.
When she gave the acorns back, I knew it was a symbol. She arranged them in the shape of a heart.
I figured to get the hint, but after the ash-shaped acorns, he started leaving notes, pinning them in the night to my panties on the line.
I stayed up all night writing that note, and I got a ladder from the garage, and then I rolled the note up real tight and thin, slipped it in a little pink bow in the front of her underwears.
I had to end this before my father and my brothers found out. I mean, what if the neighbors saw?
This was the beginning of something really special.
So, I started wearing guys' underwear. I went right out after he put in the second note and bought some briefs. Nice color ones. Couldn't find pink though.
On the third night, I'm putting another note. That makes 3 now. And I gotta lean off this ladder, big ladder, rickety, sort of into her yard, because there's this fence between us.
You'd be surprised how much more comfortable guys' underwear is than girls. No wedgies, no nothing. And that little flap.
So I put the note in. This was a little bit harder to get in there because the note was longer. And then, bam, I lost my balance. The ladder, it kicked out from beneath me. And then, my leg was broke. I knew it right off the bat. I heard a crack and everything.
You know, I got 2 little brothers, and I never knew what that flap was for. Of course, I had no use for it. But it's so cute! You don't think I'm a freak, though, right?
Well, you know, I climbed back over the fence and put the ladder away, all with a broken leg. And I could hear my grandfather laughing, because I could hear him say, when a Bagaruso falls in love, he falls.
Well, it worked. The guy's underwear. I wore some every day, and I'm even wearing some right now. He actually stopped writing notes.
Needless to say, I couldn't leave notes anymore. At least not for a while. Man, that thing took forever to heal. And itchy.
It was nice, but it was a strange sort of silence. And of course, I went back to taking care of my father.
I convinced my uncle to let me switch rooms with him. I told him his room is closer to the bathroom. Well, you see, my uncle's room has this great view of her wash line. At least I could see what she wore that day, right? You know, open the window, maybe smell her detergent, anything.
I started thinking about what he thought about.
Well, I waited, but there were no panties. So I started thinking, you know, maybe she didn't wear any that day? You know, the kinky type?
His letters were kind of romantic. I mean, for a guy who writes in a Brooklyn accent.
Well, after a week, I got pissed. What? She didn't wear underwears for an entire week? I mean, what else? What she got under her bed? Whips? Hot candle wax? Black mambos?
I like to marry a guy who's romantic. You know, like the boy next door type.
I'm sorry. This ain't the type of girl a guy wants to marry. And those underwears in the line, they're too big for her brothers. And her father wears boxers, I know. I've been watching.
So I cooked and cleaned and vacuumed and flipped channels and shaved my father. But the laundry. I realized laundry for what it was. It's not just another household chore. It's a form of communication.
I broke my leg for this? Forget it, I stopped waiting. I didn't care if all the clotheslines in all the neighborhoods in the world were full of panties, floral printed, frilly panties with bows, French cut and everything. Who cares?
Being cooped up in that house like a pigeon? Who needs it? I began to miss the letters. More and more and more.
I didn't care about women. Forget about them. At least not real ones. I got my uncle to pick me up a few old Cosmos from the dental office where he works.
I couldn't take being so isolated. I felt stifled, suffocated.
I read up for weeks on what women really liked. I took 23 romance quizzes, memorized all the supermodels' names, and learned a little bit more than I needed to know about toxic shock syndrome. There's no denying it. I was horny.
I just needed a friend. So, just for kicks, I took one pair of panties and put it up on the line. Nothing sexy, just pink with a little ribbon shaped like a bow.
Oh my God!
I made Ben decide to leave it up there overnight.
Oh my God!
The next morning I come out, and nothing. Can guys really be that fickle? I mean, 1 minute to put notes in your panties, and the next, nothing. All because a girl plays hard to get.
I couldn't do nothing. I tried getting the number from my uncle. Our father's in the deathbed, and you be messing with the dollar? I told him it was okay. I told him about the reappearance of the panties and how it was a symbol. I even told him the real way I broke my leg. He looked at me like I had a hole in my head.
So I saw he wanted to play hard to get with me. Catherine D'Onofrio is no man's violin. She will not be played.
Oh my God!
Yep, every color, size, shape imaginable. They all went up. I even took a trip to Victoria's Secret, bought a thong, some French cuts, and several silk slips. I read somewhere that silk slips drive men nuts. Cosmo, I think. Anyway, I left him up all night long.
That night, I learned how to go on the stairs on my ass. Got out of my patio, looked at all these little panties, blowing in the moonlight with the little bows, had my first cigarette in what seemed like months. And then, I picked up a single acorn from the ground, and I threw it just right against the glass. That night, and she came to her window. And that night, at her window, she spoke the first words she would ever speak to me. It was the first time I would ever hear her voice. She said,
"You're a freak."
and it's true, maybe I am.
2 days after that, we went on our first date. And 3 months from then, my father passed away.
And 4 days after that, my uncle kicked me out. But now me and Catherine, we share our own clothesline.
Just you, me, and my brothers.
Now that's romance. That's romance.